Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you all around Universal and what we did in just 6 hours. Now, first off, we did go on a weekday, so naturally the lines were going to be a little bit shorter. But what we really did to save time is that we got the Fast Pass 1 per ride option, and that was a lifesaver. That's the only way that we were able to get all of this done in just 6 hours. Now, the first ride that we went to was The Mummy. I had actually not done this before because my husband gets really bad motion sickness, but since I was with my friend, she agreed to humor me, and honestly, this may now be my very favorite ride in the park. I've always loved the Mummy movies, but the ride is really well done. Even though it is an older ride, it's still an absolutely great experience, so highly recommend doing this one if you don't have any motion sickness problems. It's essentially an indoor coaster type of ride. Now, once we left the Mummy, we then walked on down to the Harry Potter part of the park. This part is the only area of the park that's spread across both of the different areas. So if you want to do the full Harry Potter world, you are going to have to buy tickets to both Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. And I'll show you guys in a bit how we get to Islands of Adventure. But you walk in to Diagon Alley. This is why I prefer starting with Universal Studios side of the park. And you can obviously see the dragon coming out of Gringotts behind me. And really take your time when you're here in the park to go into all the different shops because it really puts you in the Harry Potter mood. I have done both this as well as the actual studios in London, and this one definitely feels way more like you're in the world of Harry Potter than when you go to the studios, even though the studios are great. I think that the amount of effort that they put particularly into Gringotts and into the Gringotts ride is amazing. Throughout the park, they've done such a good job paying attention to detail, but like when you walk through here, it's amazing. And I think that that's something that I would really recommend if you're going to do this. If you are a Harry Potter fan, take your time and look everywhere as you walk through. You'll also see here in just a second when I turn the corner how much longer that the regular line was. We just walked all the way through to the very front of the entrance to the ride. That line was really long. I think it said it was like an hour long.
What was that? The Weasley's Wildfire Whiz-Bangs. Fireworks from my brother's friend George.
Bilberys, what are you doing here?
This is my office, Lord Ag. The question is, what are you doing here?
I was about to show our new clients the vault. I was just getting the keys.
Well, I moved them. All you have to do is ask. Accio keys.
How did you get in here? We haven't seen
Well,
you since...
don't let me keep you from your tour. I just need to pick up a few things and I'll be on my way. You haven't seen me. Actually, if you don't mind, I'll join you on your tour. We can all leave together. I'll meet you at your cart.
But what are we talking about? Well, let's get moving. Now, listen to me. The passage to your left will take you to a pair of the lifts. The lifts will take you down to the cart station. There you will board a cart for the journey to the vaults beneath the Gringotts. We'll see you down there. You clear off now. My patience is running thin.
After exiting from the intro video, you then get into an elevator, ride down the elevator, and once you come out, you will grab the glasses that you need for the ride, and then you proceed on to the spiral staircase that leads up to the actual ride itself. Of the two main Harry Potter rides, I think that this is definitely my favorite of the two. Again, it's a similar type of style to that of The Mummy, just set in Harry Potter. There's all types of different alleys and scenery, so make sure that you are definitely walking around to check everything out. There are all kinds of different shops, and many of them are actually connected on the inside, making it very easy for you to get around. Do not miss going into Nocturne Alley. It is a really neat area of this particular part of the park because it does have all of those dark wizarding elements. You can go into Borgin and Burke's and you will get to see the Vanishing Cabinet, hear the bird. There's a lot of neat sound effects going on in this area, but it is also a really great way to get a quick cool off in some shade and air conditioning that is not as crowded as other stores. You then turn right and you're able to hit the butterbeer store for some cool butterbeer, or you can go next door to the ice cream parlor. I do not recommend the butterbeer ice cream, but there are other flavors in there that you might really enjoy. Make sure to stay outside in the park long enough that you do get to see the dragon blow fire like he does here in just a second. Walked on in to King's Cross Station to take the Hogwarts Express over to Islands of Adventure for the Hogsmeade area of the park. You do get to walk through platform 9 3/4, and then you come out on the other side and you see the train. It's a really neat visual effect that they do, but you do have to have tickets for both parks to allow you onto the train. The other thing about the train is that if you ride it, depending on which direction you go, you will actually get a different experience. But we took it going from Diagon Alley over to Hogsmeade. Now there is a ride within the Hogwarts Castle, and depending on the time of year that you go and depending on what type of ride pass you have, you will actually get taken to different areas of the castle. And so definitely don't think that if you have seen this ride, you have seen it all, because you do actually get to see different areas depending on when you are there. This ride is a lot of fun, but just beware that as you are getting on the ride and getting off the ride, there is a moving sidewalk. So make sure that you're going to be able to move quickly, particularly if you're someone who is prone to motion sickness. That being said, it is a really, really fun ride, and it does take you on a great journey with our favorite 3 characters. We then ate at the 3 Broomsticks, and they do really encourage you to order by app, and you get your food a lot faster that way. It is such a fun place to eat. Both my friend and I went with the fish and chips. She went with the pumpkin fizz for her drink. I got hot butterbeer, and I will say I do think that the hot butterbeer is definitely the best, and it didn't matter how warm the weather was that day. I was so glad that I got it. A really neat thing to note is that whether or not you have purchased your robes in the park that day or brought them with you, you can send your robes and wands up to the front once you are done with the Harry Potter part of the park for the day. This is something that I've utilized and has made things way easier because we aren't lugging around all types of big bulky items. We then walked over the bridge from Hogsmeade into the Jurassic Park area of the park, and it is amazing on how just a little bit of landscaping and music totally transports you into another world.
These gentle giants pose no threat to Cetacosaurs, with their curved, parrot-like beaks, are the most primitive of the horned dinosaurs, a group of herbivores that includes Protoceratops and the mighty Triceratops. adaptation from their native periods, ensuring long, healthy lives for these magnificent animals.
You will get a little wet on this ride as it does take you water-wise through Jurassic Park and then has a big splashdown at the end. But overall, you really don't get that wet, and since you're in Florida, you will dry pretty quickly, and I do definitely think that it is a really fun ride. And bonus, you don't have to worry about getting motion sick at all on this ride. Another tip is to get the photo pass before you go to the park. It is much cheaper online ahead of time, and it gives you access to all of your park photos for free, as well as to special selfie areas like you see here. You see here part of the Velocicoaster. According to my best friend, as I did not write it, she said that the Velocicoaster is probably her favorite amusement park ride ever, and it is very intense. When you walk out under Velocicoaster, you then come in to the ancient area in the park that includes the walkthrough experience Poseidon's Fury. This is really pretty theatrical and it has a lot of very cool visual effects, but big bonus is that it is an air-conditioned area, so another great way to cool off in the afternoon. FastPass will definitely save you a ton of time on this ride. We then walked through Seussland to get to Marvel Land, where we rode the Spider-Man ride. I definitely think that going with either Transformers or Men in Black in the other side of the park is going to be a better option. Thanks for coming along with me for these past 6 hours in my Universal vlog, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!